Hi, Brian, you are live.
Brian Walsh is one of my partners in crime. He is a phenomenal businessman and humanitarian. I think that's why I love Brian so much and love working with Brian so much, is because at the core of everything that he does, it is to help and uplift and empower others.
You know, even us teachers and even us people that are helping there, it's an interesting time to address things like fear, because we live in a space of fear, but the truth is fear really comes from within. Fear is an inner emotion. It's not necessarily based on reality. And so, we are all getting overwhelmed by what's going on globally. It's happening. You can't do anything about it. Sit back.
Yeah.
Just make it about you and find your own inner peace, because I think if ever there's a time to find an inner peace, it's now.
And I know that you are like me. We want to assist people to get through this with as much support and ease as possible. So what have you got up your sleeve? I think tell everybody what you are planning, because I think it's phenomenal and I really am excited about it.
Hi, Brian, you are live.
I just want to welcome you guys. Welcome Robin, welcome Garth, welcome John, welcome Stefano, welcome everybody. Brian Walsh is one of my partners in crime. He is a phenomenal businessman and humanitarian. I think that's why I love Brian so much and love working with Brian so much, is because at the core of everything that he does, it is to help and uplift and empower others. And that's why I wanted to chat to him today. But Brian, first of all, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm very well, Susana. And yourself?
I am actually very well. Thank you. I've been saying to everyone, like, I've had moments of being a bit teary, if I'm listening to the news and, feeling into what is going on. I've had moments of feeling, anxious and full of tears for the people that I can't assist. But I also believe that this is a great opportunity for change and growth and healing. And I think that it's come into being for a reason and a purpose. So I'm actually quite filled with hope as well. And I'm already seeing changes, really good, positive changes. And I know that you are like me. We want to assist people to get through this with as much support and ease as possible. So what have you got up your sleeve? I think tell everybody what you are planning, because I think it's phenomenal and I really am excited about it. And that's why I wanted you to be here with me today.
Yeah, I think, just first to put into context, I think it's a time for a lot of self-reflection. And, listeners should get that actually, even us teachers and even us people that are helping there, it's an interesting time to address things like fear, because, we live in a space of fear, but the truth is fear really comes from within. Fear is an inner emotion. It's not necessarily based on reality. And so, we are all getting overwhelmed by what's going on globally. And the truth is, if you can just sort of, like Deepak Chopra said the other day in a webinar I did, he said, like, it's just accept it. Acceptance is important. Connect with yourself, connect with other people, just connect with love. And, let's just work this thing out. In other words, it's happening. You can't do anything about it. Sit back.
Yeah.
Just make it about you and find your own inner peace, because I think if ever there's a time to find an inner peace, it's now. So that's I think what I'm doing and what a lot of people are doing.
I think so as well. And I think, Brandon Bays said that as well, didn't she, Brian? She said, just make peace with the fact that this is what is happening. And then how do we navigate our way through this, and find the gifts within it. So how are you navigating your way through it, and what gifts do you foresee lying within the situation?
I think, the navigating through it is very much, like I said, an opportunity to control our thoughts, and like I catch myself going off on tangents. And I think, let's be real, it is a scary time. So it's not like we can all be hummy, we all happy kind of thing, because, lots of people are going to get affected. I don't believe the virus is the biggest issue. I believe the lockdown, the economic impact, and the fear and the panic that people are going through, that's actually the biggest issue. And, it's unprecedented, so we don't really know what to do with it. The unknown, as much as there's two human needs, there's 6 human needs, but 2 primary ones are certainty and uncertainty. And it's nice to have variety, so to speak, but this is a bit too much variety for people, too much uncertainty, not knowing what's going to happen. And so the self-navigation is very much, I'm staying really connected. I'm isolated. I'm by myself, but I'm connecting with people all the time, and putting this big event on that we're doing next weekend, has also just allowed me to reach out. I've had so many conversations with different speakers from around the world, and just, going through their personal sort of challenges around it as well, and the messages they want to share. And I think for us, when we're teachers, the teaching is therapeutic for us. So, the ability, when I did that webinar with 500 people on Saturday, it was there's something special about actually, being the conduit of knowledge and information and helping people connect. So I'm really excited about the big event that's coming up, because in a way that's therapeutic for all of us as well.
Absolutely. Well, some people do know, because I did speak about it yesterday when I connected live with everyone. I've got new people tuning in as well. So let's talk about the event. Tell us a bit about this event.
So yeah, it was something we actually thought of a while ago, but when lockdown came into play, it's definitely the biggest and fastest event we've ever had to put on. Fortunately, it's online, so, it doesn't take too much logistical work. But I sent out a message to all my teachers and friends, from the sort of high-end guys like Dr. John DeMartini or Brandon Bays and what have you, down to people that don't normally get to speak on our stages, but I know have powerful messages to share with people. And I think I sent out to 32 people, and 30 people came back and said they want to participate, and which was, a little bit overwhelming in itself. And we put on this event, we call it Real Connection Live Online Summit. The primary is to connect. The primary is just to share and to help and just help people through various different aspects of their lives, whether it's the parenting issues or the relationship issues, or whether it's the mindset issues, or whether it's the business and the financial issues. I think, there's a lot of things to reflect on and look at. And unlike what we normally do, we'll actually set out a schedule so people can see who's speaking and what topics are being covered when, because it does run from Friday at 2:00 till 8:00, and then the whole of Saturday and the whole of Sunday. So that's because we've got 30 speakers, and everyone's speaking for 45 minutes. And it's exciting. It's kind of it's an interesting equation as a whole. But it's exciting because, I think as a company at Real Success, it's an opportunity to just live to what we believe in the most, which is connection. So, I was very impressed when everyone came back and said, yes, they want to participate. In fact, more people than I anticipated. We've had, I think, 6 or 7, phone calls from people around the world saying, can we participate? And we're like, don't think we can make it a 4th day, so it's a little bit out of hand. But that's really cool. And I think it's the onus on us as people that are there inspiring people, and the onus is on us to be there for people as well. So this is very much a time to give and connect. So yeah, very excited about it.
You've got some, I'm going to be speaking, which I'm super excited about. And I must say, one of the things that I feel so thrilled about is that I'm going to be sharing the stage with, the World Wide Web stage, as I've called it in my post, with some of my favorite teachers. You've really covered such a wide, broad base of topics that people can possibly need support in, that I think is just phenomenal. Everyone from Brandon Bays, who I know has made a profound difference in your life, and she was due to come out now in June. I'm not sure what will be happening with that, but all the way through to Robin Banks, Billy Silikane, Joel Brown, all of these people, they're all fantastic. Are their events on hold at the moment? Should people who are planning to go to their events, should they be jumping online now and making sure that they see these teachers online now? or will they be able to see them within the next, as soon as the lockdown is over? Or because I've got a feeling this lockdown is going to happen for a lot longer than we think it's going to happen for. What is your gut feel around that?
So, I mean, I think that, from in a South African context, we're in a lockdown, but I mean, half the world's in a lockdown. And, it's not about whether it ends or not. There's still going to be social distancing. There's still going to be limitation on groups. There's still going to be a lot of things that can go on for a few months still. So I think the key is, we had two big international events. One was Paul O'Mahony and one was Brandon Bayes, and they both have been postponed. Brandon, I think we've set up a date in early October, assuming everything will be calmed down by then. And Paul, we're still finalizing. So I think that, and a lot of people have postponed events. I was talking to Alan Kleinmans now, and all his events have been exposed. Brandon's sitting in Greece, and she's like bored because she's got nothing to do. So she's super excited to come and talk to people because, she's had to cancel, I think, or not cancel maybe, but postpone a good sort of 12 events or something that she had going on, this month, next month, and the next few months. So, I think, look, obviously the physical events are going to be dried up for a while. I know Tony Robbins, for the first time ever in his history, has had to postpone, a couple of his big events as well. And of course, it's indefinite in the basis that we don't know exactly when it goes back to normal and when people are going to feel comfortable. So, it's time to move online. And some people they've taken the opportunity to develop programs online. They've taken the opportunity to connect more online. The high energy speakers, it's challenging for them to connect online, but they're all stepping up to it because at the end of the day, they want to connect, they want to share and they want to help. And I think, that's very exciting. So absolutely, you want to come into this event. You're not John DeMartini's, all these events are postponed as well. Like all of these guys are not doing physical events for probably the next few months. So it's a great opportunity to hear from them and connect with them.
And this will be all of the teachers live streaming from all over the world.
Yeah, it's going to be quite an interesting coordination. But everyone is live streaming independently, right? So whether they're South African teachers, or we've got teachers from Lithuania, teachers in Greece, teachers in the UK, teachers in the United States, teachers in Australia. I was trying to work out all the time zones. I was like, with Joel Brown, who's from Australia, you know him as well. And Joel was like, Brian, I was like, oh, Joel, I put you down like in the afternoon. And then I'm like, wait a minute, that's like 3:00 in the morning for you in Australia. He says, I think I'd rather do the morning. I said, okay, well, you to do. It's kind of weird when you have to try and coordinate all of it. But I'm just so excited about the enthusiasm, that everyone's bringing to the party. So it's going to be really, really cool.
Absolutely. I mean, I was speaking to Richard Harrington this morning, who connected with me, through the WhatsApp group that you created with all the speakers. And he's asked me to do his talk as an interview with him. And he's all the way in Bali. And he said that, he's feeling what is happening in the world, but he's, basically in Bali at a hotel, and that's where he's stuck because they stopped the flights.
Yeah, he was supposed to come back. He's been in Bali for 3 months, and that's the joy of Richard's life, being an investor and what have you. But so they've had to prolong it a little bit. He said it could be worse, than sitting on an island like Bali. But he's in lockdown there at the moment, so you can't come back for at least a couple more weeks. So yeah.
So it's going to be very interesting. And I think it's going to be the first definitely hosted by South Africa of its kind, having this many teachers from all over the world, streaming from all over the world, for one dedicated summit. So I really applaud you for putting it all together. And I think that it will do what it has been created to do. One of the things that I absolutely love is that all of these teachers really want to create light. They want to assist people on this journey. And this past weekend, you did a great online seminar, which I was a part of. But it was really great day of online learning. And I think we're going to see more and more of that. We've even seen universities opening themselves up and giving, free online courses, which I think is so great. One of the things that Brian does have that I think you guys should know about is his club, the Real Success Club. It is phenomenal because it is like having an entire library of resources from incredible teachers at a really incredible price. And I think maybe, Brian, do you want to share a little bit of information around your club? Because I think everybody has a little bit more time at the moment, and why not invest in yourself, in developing yourself, in making yourself richer? What do you have in that club for everyone?
So we've got about 40 or 50 teachers in the club, including, the greats like Tony Robbins and T.R. Becker and Robin Sharma and what have you. And it's really just a learning resource based on our principle of success, which is wealth, meaning, and freedom. So 3 learning resources, one on wealth, relationships with money, all that kind of stuff. One on meaning, which is the biggest one. That's got a whole center with Dr. John DeMartini in it and what have you, which is all about connection, personal development, raising standards and, relationships. And then on freedom, which is all about sort of vision and, being true to yourself and understanding the context and personal productivity and things like that. It's been a resource we were privileged to put together quite a while ago with about 200 hours of video and audio programs that are available there. We'll mention it during the event because we offered a crazy price for people to join it, and we can do that again. We don't, unfortunately, have a public place to do it. So the trick is to come to the event. A lot of the teachers that are in that portal are at the event as well. And, I think we did say to the guys, like, we're not selling programs, we're not selling big events and what have you, but a lot of the guys are making their libraries available at like fractions of what they normally cost. So that's kind of cool, as an added advantage for those at the event. Some will be inviting you to other webinars and other learning opportunities. And some of them will be saying, hey, you know what, if you want to get our whole library of education or whatever, you can have it for some nominal amount. And I think this is, so there's going to be a huge amount of content, and I think it's really relevant to what people are looking for. So Success Club is something I think I recommend to everyone because it's a holistic approach to things. If you attend the event, you'll learn more about it.
Amazing. Is there anything else you want people to know before I let you run away?
I just think like what I started by saying, I think that it's a time for reflection. The world will not be the same. And I truly hope it'll be a lot better for it. I think, it's time for us as a species to actually start taking the planet more seriously, taking connection more seriously, taking humanity more seriously. And, if ever there's been a time of disruption, because it's funny, you and I were talking about disruption at the end of last year, and we were, because there's been lots of little disruptions, and then we get this ginormous disruption. And, I truly do believe in some form of, natural intelligence that's in play. And I think that, we absolutely need to learn from what's happening here. This is not a random, event. This is the planet actually fighting back at us. And this is the beginning of many things that are going to happen. The fact that this virus has come out, other viruses will come out, of the same family. We need to start taking it seriously. Watching the levels of pollution dropping in Europe and fish for the first time in the canals in Venice. It's amazing how quick this planet starts healing itself. But, I actually vote for lockdown every 3 months, the whole planet. That way we can give it time to breathe. But there's a lot of beautiful things that are coming out of it. And I think, the news is unfortunately focusing on all the negativity. But the truth is, turn it inwards, connect, get real with yourself. Don't worry about the circumstances and the financial stuff. I promise you the financial world is going to change completely on the back of this. So, no one's going to come after you because you can't pay a bill. Just communicate with people because some people don't have an income. A lot of people have lost their incomes. South Africans are a bit better off because we're protected. My friends in the US, the US is a policy, no work, no pay. And so, there's literally millions of people losing their jobs in the US and they got zero income to work off. So I think at the end of the day, just don't let that get the better of you. Like actually just chill. You're going to be fine. And let's go out there and focus on just becoming better people individually and then hopefully collectively becoming a better species, for lack of a better word, that's going to take our planet seriously and take this imbalance that we've created with the gap between rich and poor and actually hopefully start eradicating and being more human again.
I completely agree with you. I think that this has definitely come about as an opportunity for us to heal and transform and leave behind what no longer serves us and So we need to take the opportunity and grow and transform with it. I was listening to a talk by Simon Sinek. I think that's his surname, Simon Sinek. And he was saying that, when Uber came out, it completely disrupted the cab companies, and the ones that stayed and are struggling, it's because they weren't willing to step up and transform, with the new systems, the new opportunities that were in place. And the reality is that the one thing in life, and we've heard this a million times before, the one thing in life that you can count on is change. And sometimes it'll come slowly and sometimes it'll come swiftly. And you've got to be adaptable and you've got to grow with that. And so this weekend, guys, I really want to encourage you to be a part of this weekend, because the teachers that have come on board, the teachers that Brian has called and invited to be a part of this weekend, all have very unique and special gifts that will assist you with support systems, with techniques, with tools, with knowledge that is going to help you move through this with more ease. Because it is going to be challenging. But if you know that you've got somebody that has taught you something, that has given you a bag of tricks that you can now use, you can move through it with just a bit more ease and a bit more support. And that's the point, because disruption is challenging. Like birth, I suppose. Hey, Brian, it's like when you're giving birth to something, it's like the seed completely comes apart for the root to grow and for the tree to grow, And I believe that that's what's happening at the moment. Funny enough, Brian, the last time that I had this same feeling was the last time I had a real internal growth personally. And that was when I was sick. I was stopped completely physically in my tracks because I hadn't been paying attention. And I feel like that's what's happening on a global level. We're being stopped in our tracks because we were not paying attention. And so going inward, paying attention, being present, like Brian said, and taking the time to really connect with yourself and with the people that mean something and with the things that mean something. It's amazing. Like, it's wonderful to have somewhere beautiful to stay, but all of a sudden your car doesn't mean anything. These physical things that you thought maybe meant something suddenly don't. So look at what is real and what is valuable, and join a community online that really wants to add value. And you need to look at how you're going to take your business, your career, your life, and transform it into this new world, because it is going to be a new world. It's not going to be the same after this, I believe. Brian, I'm so excited about this weekend, and I look forward to it, and I honor you, because I have watched as some people have been paralyzed by fear, and some people have kind of suddenly been very graspy at like, oh, mine by fear. And you've responded in the completely opposite way. And I did leave you a message last week with this, but I want everyone to hear, because this is the type of person that Brian Walsh is. And that is why I will always support you. And that is why I love working with you. Brian's response was, okay, how are we going to help and as many teachers as possible? How are we going to serve as many people on this planet as possible? Let's do it. And that's what's happening this weekend. So I honor you, Brian. Thank you. And thank you for letting me be a part of it. And to everybody that's tuned in, sorry, I didn't wave at all of you guys, but I'm sending you all lots and lots of love, and I will be back soon. You can wave goodbye to Brian. I will see you guys soon. Have a lovely rest of your day. Bye.